This short video is to show you how you can use an existing publication module to start your BookBuild project. So the video is going to show the extra steps or the extra or different steps which are required when you use a publication module as the structure source. The reason for this is that the publication module is nowhere near as feature rich as the standard BookBuild file, so you have to do quite a lot of work to import it. So the steps required are obviously the very first one is to import the publication module. And then you've got some remedial work to be done, and we'll look at that in more detail. And then you have to set up the data module options and the publication options and the publication resources. Now that's actually the same as a standard publication, but we're covering them in outline here just to give you an idea again. And then initializing the book is exactly the same as the previous ways of doing it. As we'll see in a moment, importing a publication module into a BookBuild application is very, very straightforward. But there are a number of things which have to be borne in mind. Very often the title element associated with PM entry elements has been omitted, and quite a lot of work will be needed to carry out to give a fully featured BookBuild file. And some of that can be achieved by using FrameMaker's search and replace options. So what we're going to do then is to open up a publication module. The one we're going to be using is the one associated with BitePack, and I need to go down the list of files there to get to that one there, which is the one I want. And it imports the document into FrameMaker, and it's a publication module, as you can see. Now if I move the material across to the side there, you'll see that this says it's the title page, list of effective data modules, table of contents. These are all pre-done by S1000D. And then we come down to applicability, controls and indicators. These are all preliminary material bits and pieces. And the mounting by business rules, that's the Brex. So as you can see, there's a lot of files in there, but they're just being brought straight in. There's no titles associated with any of them whatsoever. So what we have to do then is to go to the BookBuild and transform the S1000D publication module to BookBuild. And that's what we're doing, and what it's doing is it's actually more than that's good, isn't it? But it brings that in as an untitled FrameMaker file. And what we have here now then is a FrameMaker file, but it has identified the front cover, effective pages and all that sort of thing. And then we come down to the table of contents. So if we can move that across a bit further, no we can't. Let's make it a bit smaller, then we can see perhaps a bit better what's there. So what we then have is a table of contents which comes in as that particular item. And then we have PM entry. Now the trouble is, you see PM entry is not complete. It hasn't got a title associated with it, which is quite interesting. But it's purely flat. There's no structure in this document whatsoever. And what we have to do then is to look at what we've got and create a structure. So if we go up to the top there, we can see then what we need to do is to put a title in. And what we're going to say then that this is the introduction. If I could spell it correctly, that would be quite good. It's one of the features now. So what we've got then is the introduction. If we now draw this down a bit and take it across a bit, we can actually start to do things like start to do things which can then structure it if we want to. So for example, and this is just an example, if we want to make this chapter and the following chapters part of each other, then we can just draw that up into that piece there and do it again. So what we've got now is the ability to actually, if that was chapter 1, then this would be chapter 1.1, 1.2, and then we can go a bit further even if we want to, 1.3. So as you can see, it's fairly quick to change the structure of it, but what you have to do to start with is to work out what the structure of that file is. Now this, I think, personally, is a very badly structured file. It gives you no options whatsoever, and it seems to me that it wasn't ever intended to be a hard copy book. perhaps that's right. But I would guess that if you're going to do a hard copy book, then you need to do the publication module, which at least does reflect that and at least put titles in to make sure it's okay. What I've done now is to import an existing existing BookBuild file that I've done using the BikePack data modules. And I've done this so that you can get a bit of an idea about what you can and can't do. This particular publication uses automatically generated files from BookBuild. So things like list of effective pages, tables of contents, and all that sort of thing are in there. We've also got, so the previous one that we saw actually used the list of the data module files provided by S1000D. So we come to the content information now. Table of contents I've created, which is generated on the fly. The PM entry here is a general description, and we've actually put in a file there which will contain the table of contents for chapter 1. And then we've got PM entry. The next PM entry forces it into decimalized chapters. Once we put a table of contents in there, and here we have a multi-data module chapter that I've created, and you can see that what we've done is we've put 2 data modules in that one. So you can see you can actually build that up. What about the other parts? Well, we've got a multi-data module chapter there, and if I show a closer, if I can get it there, and go up slightly, these are the options for a multi-data module. Excuse me, multi-data module chapter. Start number, it says what it says. You can pick up all of these items from the user guide. So you can see that you can do quite a lot with the structure. How you structure it is entirely up to you. There's obviously the 2 or 3 ways of doing it. The one way would be to have an area of the book which is for the descriptions, another area of book for maintenance, another area of book for fault finding, another area of the book for the IPD. Or you could go down the route, if this is the bicycle, then we'd have one for the an area for the complete bicycle, which would include the maintenance and fault finding at complete bicycle stage, and so on. So it's up to you how you structure it. And once again, how you structure the publication module is up to you. There is no necessarily distinct way of doing it. There are, it's up to you, up to the individual publication how it's done. Having imported the publication module in and done some restructuring, what you need to do then is you actually need to insert the PM entry titles where they've been omitted, checking that the book structure is acceptable. And if you want to create multi-data module chapters, then you can create those at that stage. Then you need to set the individual data module options and set the publication options, and then setting the publication resources. And we'll look at those last 3 in more detail. What we're looking at here are the various options that you can have for a single data module. So let's just have a look at a couple of them. The start number, well, if you've got individual data modules, they will be in normally as chapters. So you've got the ability here to set the start number, which allows you to miss out chapters if you wish to. The data module title, what part of the data module title do you want? Include the bookmarks or no. The bookmarks, normally that is set so that in fact you get all the bookmarks in the left hand side of the PDF file that's generated. That would mean that every title that appears in the book, in the data module, would appear in the bookmarks pane of Adobe. Now if you don't want all those, just the chapter titles to go in, then you would say include bookmarks equals no. The previous set of options that we were looking at are options which are applicable only to individual data modules. So those options that we were looking at would be associated with that single data module. What we're looking at here is the publication options. These are the ones that apply to the whole of the publication. So what we've got here, if we run through them very quickly, remove the no tables. In particular, in the procedural data module, you have a number of tables there, and this enables you to remove the empty tables, those that nothing's defined for. And you can remove the reference tables by the next one if you wish. And if you're creating a PDF file, it may not be, because all the cross-references are resolved, there's not really any need to have the reference tables in there. The footer data module code, this gives you the option of either having it or not. The footer page number allows you to change the formatting of that, as does the format date. The reference data module, it enables you to, if the reference data modules have got titles, it enables you to cut those out. Now, some of our clients have placed a data module reference inside CGM files. What this does is it enables you to interrogate the CGM files and change any data module references to actual proper cross-references stating chapter or section and paragraph number if you wish. Continuing now with the global reference options for the publication. What the next item enables you to do is if when you're creating tables of contents, you can either have the table, the reference and the actual heading to be either centered or aligned to the left. Remove the data module logos. Some of the later data module structures enable you to include a logo. The IPD figure number, that enables you, the default method of doing it is to actually include the disassembly code in there. And what this enables you to do is to actually have the figure numbers for the figures in IPDs to be serial numbered from the start of the IPD area. Do you want end of data module statements? Do you want a draft statement? Do you want to import the data module error or the link color? Now, the link color refers to the cross-reference links in the PDF file. So you can see there's quite a lot of options that you have got. Now we come to the publication resources, and what this is intended to do is to enable you to define and locate logos or other graphics on a page on a regular basis. So if you have a logo, for example, you can arrange for it to be displayed in the center at the top of a file or left and right hand side, and what you have to do is for each graphic file you have to define where you want it to start. Now the system also enables you to reference position on throwout pages as well, so you've got that option. Of course, when you've completed the whole thing, you need to initialize the book in exactly the same way as you initialize the book under other ways of doing the publication. So that's the end of this short video, which has dealt specifically with importing publication modules into BookBuild so that they can be used. And this forms part of other videos which you can get to by referring to the reference page.